Welcome to your second stimulus check update, stimulus package update, and news report for Saturday, October 31st. Tomorrow is the 1st of November. We are only 3 days away from Election Day. Now, this is big. Okay, this is big. We got a lot of big things happening, and I want to break it all down. First off, there will be no stimulus agreement. There will be no stimulus package that is agreed upon before the election. It will not happen. Steve Mnuchin and Nancy Pelosi will not be able to come to an agreement. That is what we know right now. Many people are also reporting that stimulus negotiations were not going as well as Nancy Pelosi seemed to make it out to be. Nancy Pelosi was saying we were getting close, things are getting closer, we should have an agreement soon, we're waiting for the verbiage, we're waiting for the language, we're waiting for an offer from Steve Mnuchin. And then come to find out, that's not really what we're waiting on. Nancy Pelosi is just waiting on the election, which many people predicted, and many people are saying this is actually good news. Nancy Pelosi seemed to be the bad person in all of this, that she was not going to accept an offer from Steve Mnuchin and the Trump administration. However, that's not entirely the case. Many people were saying it's all Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi's fault. Nancy Pelosi won't accept. It's Nancy Pelosi, Nancy Pelosi. Well, the truth of the matter is, it was Nancy Pelosi that would not accept a $1.9 or $1.88 trillion stimulus package that President Trump and the Trump administration were offering. However, it's also reported that Mitch McConnell was never going to put a stimulus bill on the floor for a vote if it did pass through the House and President Trump signed off on it. And this was not going to happen because many GOP members currently believe President Trump is going to lose the election in just a few days. So, right now, what many people are reporting is this is not entirely a bad thing that no stimulus package was agreed upon before the election. Because if it was, it would have been a very small stimulus package because that is all that the Senate Republicans would have agreed on. So, as of right now, no matter who wins, the good news is that we will get answers. We will have an idea of what is to come just within days of the election results being announced. So that is good news. Hopefully, within this next week, we have an idea of where stimulus negotiations are going. Are there going to be any more negotiations, or will we come to an agreement finally? Or is everybody just going to say, let's just wait until after the election? That is what we're kind of wanting to know. Because I know the American people are getting sick and tired of hearing Nancy Pelosi, Steve Mnuchin, Mitch McConnell, or President Trump say, we're getting close. If something happens, we'll put it on the floor. Things are getting closer. The differences are narrowing. Everybody's getting sick and tired of that. What we want to know is, when are we going to see a stimulus check? When could we potentially see unemployment benefits? When could we see rental assistance? And so much more. Now, the reason why this is not entirely bad news that things are going to be put off and we won't see a stimulus package until possibly after the election. Okay, it's not going to happen before, but it might happen soon after, or it's going to happen months after. We don't know yet. But here's the reason why this is not entirely bad news. And it is because both parties, Steve Mnuchin and Nancy Pelosi, seem to exaggerate stimulus talks. And I say this is good news because their exaggeration also made it seem like the package was getting bigger and better for the American people. That's not entirely true. What both parties seem to want is to really target specific needs. And that is where the money is going to go. Democrats want money to go to schools, which is great. Go to state and local governments, which is very helpful. Go to things like the Postal Service, which is beneficial to some people. Republicans want to go more to businesses, more to the wealthier individuals, the people that are really running the country, right? Well, if things never get agreed upon on either one of those fronts, then hopefully that means they're going to come to an agreement at some point. Now, Steve Mnuchin did say Nancy Pelosi was impossible to negotiate with because she was not willing to compromise on her $2.2 trillion stimulus bill. Well, why would she compromise? She had all the leverage. Yes, the American people need the relief, need the funds, need the help, but at the same time, she wants to provide more help down the line. Hopefully, that means we don't have to wait until February, but at the same time, hopefully we get more help, more relief than just a $1,200 stimulus check, pretty much just throwing crumbs to the people. We need more help. Currently, many people are predicting that the only way a stimulus package would happen before the end of January is if President Trump accepts Nancy Pelosi's $2.2 trillion stimulus offer. However, and this means that it doesn't matter who wins. If Joe Biden were to win, most likely what people are predicting is President Trump, and this isn't me, these are experts that have a very good understanding of how things are done, the way the Trump administration is currently working, and their inner thoughts. And they're saying that President Trump would not want to give Nancy Pelosi a win right after he just lost. That's pretty much a slap in the face to himself. He would not want to do that. So, in fairness, I don't believe President Trump would agree on a $2.2 trillion stimulus package anyway, because there's no way the current GOP would pass this. Okay? The GOP, they might not have the majority in the Senate after January 3rd. So right now, the most likely scenario is we are going to have to wait until possibly January 3rd or even the end of January, possibly even February, before we see any true stimulus package. Right now, we could see some bits and pieces come out, some standalone bills, maybe an executive order right after the election, but we just don't know. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell did say the other day that he anticipates Congress will take up the next relief package right at the beginning of the year. He also gave us some insights as to what the most likely package would include. Just want to brace yourself, because this is going to be the same stuff that the Senate Republicans have been pushing for months. Mitch McConnell said, we would target it particularly at small businesses that are struggling and hospitals that are now dealing with the second wave of the virus, and of course, the challenge for education, both K through 12 and college. Now, this has many people upset for a bunch of different reasons. First off, this doesn't provide relief to those that are currently not working, and it's anticipated that more people will currently be laid off. Boeing is going to lay off, a bunch more people. Airlines, all airlines will be laying off more people. This is not going to stop. Restaurants are going to lay off people, hotel chains, everything. It's going to be bad. This won't provide help for families currently struggling to pay rent. There's no rental assistance in what Mitch McConnell just stated. This will also most likely not include a stimulus check, which means if you are behind on payments, bills, you can't put food on the table, you can't stock up like experts are saying you should. Well, how am I supposed to do that? I don't work. I don't get relief from the state. I'm not getting a stimulus check. What am I supposed to do? This has a lot of people mad. This also most likely would be a skinny bill, which means Democrats would not vote on this. They would not support it, and they will never agree to this. So this means that Republicans could try to push this onto Democrats, but it's expected that Democrats will remain in control of the House, which means a skinny bill is never going to pass. Doesn't matter if President Trump is still in office. Doesn't matter if the Senate is still majority run by Republicans. If Democrats still hold the majority inside the House, which most people are saying is pretty much a done deal, this is never going to work. Currently, stimulus talks are non-existent, which is a bad thing, but at the same time, it's also a kind of a good thing that they're not talking about stimulus. Mitch McConnell or Steve Mnuchin and Nancy Pelosi are not in stimulus negotiations right now. And this is kind of a good thing because they haven't gone anywhere. Why should they continue to negotiate? Nancy Pelosi said, I would not continue negotiations if I didn't see this happening. Fact of the matter is, she was continuing with these negotiations, and she knew nothing was ever going to happen. So, just a complete lie. President Trump tells us lies all the time. Nancy Pelosi tells us lies all the time. It doesn't matter. These people are in government. They are government officials. They are going to lie. Right now, this is anyone's race. We have just 3 days left. We will hopefully know by the end of Tuesday who the next president of the United States will be. However, there is a good chance that we do not know for days, maybe even longer. As of right now, more than 90 million Americans have voted. Early voting, which is great. They have already cast their ballots. So far, over 90 million people. That's really good news, and that's the number as of today. So if you have not had the chance to go and vote, now is your time. Don't wait. Go and vote. Doesn't matter who you're voting for. Go and vote. Everybody's going to vote for a different person. That's completely fine. Go and vote for who you believe can run this country the best for the next 4 years. Now, in COVID-related news, this is all big. The United States saw, as of yesterday, as of Friday, October 30th, the United States saw 99,754 new COVID cases and 971 deaths. That is a new record. 99,754 new cases is a new record for the United States. Many experts are predicting, I've been saying this for a while, that over the next week or two, or over the next couple weeks or month, this was a couple weeks ago, we will see numbers over 100,000 new cases consecutively, multiple days in a row. However, now experts are saying we could see cases rise as high as 150,000 new cases per day, and this again could be consecutive days in a row, which means we will have new records. There will be new record highs, most likely in deaths, and as of right now, hospitalizations are increasing at a record that hospitals cannot keep up with. State governors are considering statewide lockdowns once again. The most notable state as of right now, who has publicly come forward and said this is most likely an outcome and a situation that's going to happen, is the governor of New Jersey. So, right now, people are worried. This is a bad situation, and it's only going to get worse. So, the good thing is the elections will be over very soon, and hopefully we will have an answer as to who's going to lead us for the next 4 years. Will it be President Trump, or could it be Joe Biden? In the UK, this just was announced about an hour ago. Prime Minister Boris Johnson announced that they will take part in a 4-week lockdown beginning on Thursday, November 5th. The cases are surging. They're seeing so many cases, so many new hospitalizations. And what Boris Johnson said in his announcement was that they can't keep up with doubling the cases because there's no way they can double their workforce. There's no way they can double the employees in their hospitals. So because of that, the only way they could combat this was by locking down. Now, here's what you need to know. And you don't need to know this because let's say you live in the UK, you might not know anybody in the UK, and that's completely fine. But I want to explain what's going to happen, what's going to look like over the next 4 weeks, because this is something that many are predicting is going to happen here in the United States. What Boris Johnson said, the rules for this lockdown, is you can leave for work as long as you have essential work, and you cannot do your work from home. This would include manufacturing. This would also include some businesses like restaurants, retail stores that are deemed essential. Hospitals as well. You can also leave your house for an hour worth of exercise. Also, they want you to stay close to your home. You can leave for essential shopping. There will not be any shopping such as new clothing, and some of those stores will not be opened. That will not be deemed essential. Essential would be grocery stores, things for medicine, things like that. Okay? Also, they will allow schools to continue operating. They will allow schools because they say school-aged children do not transmit COVID as easy as elderly people or adults. And you can also leave for appointments. This is essential appointments, not something like a teeth cleaning where you could easily just push that back a month and you can get it done after the December 2nd deadline. Also, this is something many are predicting, like I already stated, this is something many are predicting will happen here in the United States. And if it does, just be aware of that, because that means we should probably get out there, stock up on some foods. Easy with the toilet paper. You don't need, 50, big packs of toilet paper. 2 or 3 is probably going to be enough for you. Just try to ration a little bit so that we don't have a toilet paper shortage here in the United States once again. As COVID cases surge across the world, more countries are beginning modified lockdowns. It's not just the UK, okay? And I say this because this has many people worried here in the United States that we will soon see this eventually happen with us as well. Some experts are predicting before 2021, we will see this exact same thing. Some are predicting within the next couple of weeks, we will see multiple governors locking down their states. So my advice to you is stay safe, stock up, and be ready for if your state, your governor decides we're going to lock down for 2, 3, maybe 4 weeks. So as of right now, this is what's happening. This is your stimulus update for today. This is also your news report for Saturday, October 31st. Hopefully you have an incredible weekend. I'll come back on here tomorrow, give you a little bit of an update on what's going on, not only here in the United States for stimulus, but for COVID-related news as well, for the stock market leading up to this week, and some news going around the world. So again, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you guys on the next one.